Hey beautiful people, Alex James Tice here, bringing you Wisdom Walker Yoga, full-length class titled You Are the Space Maker. May you find your inner ability to create space, smooth out your timelines, harmonize your energy, and rise on your highest heroic destiny of just being yourself in full empowerment, full love, and full truthful identity of who you are and who you birthed into be. Without further ado, see you in the practice. Oh, all right, beautiful. Another magnificent day for some awesome yoga. Settle into an easy groove for, wherever you are in this time frame of life, which is always malleable. Right? We can always shift ourselves from, cloudy to sunny, and we can always shift ourselves from good to great. So we're just climbing the spectrum of frequencies and rising right into, our divinity, of our greatness. So just come into your yoga mat and settle on nice and steady and take your first yoga shape, your first yoga pose. If you want to be seated, you can ground the sit bones down, lift the spine tall, heart over hips, crown of head over heart. Just a nice, easy vertical stack. And if you feel like you want to take child's pose or go onto your back, you can always recline supine position or take traditional child's pose, just stretched out. Because all we're here to do right now is just to ground and to settle into our own inner space. This is laying the roots of the foundation of the practice, kind of rooting into the moment of the eternal now. And this is the central axis from which all things that we desire to create manifest from. It's the fertile ground of being from which creation and reality arise from. So as you settle in, feel the part of your body grounded down. If you're seated, you can feel the sit bones rooted. You can feel how, as you press the sit bones down, the rest of the body levitates up. So you're already getting that really nice conscious awareness of how to play with energy. And notice how you can float in your body. When the spine comes into good posture, there's a depressurization, which is a de-stress, which takes away the regressive energies that kind of erode our vitality and our purity of consciousness. Now, as you have the open spine drawn out long, make sure the rest of the body's resting, shoulders are light, face is peaceful, doing an easy scan, and just making sure that you're starting to cultivate that all-encompassing awareness so you're fully aware of yourself, which is the opposite of what happens when we get too engulfed into our mind. We get lost in our mind and we forget about the rest of ourselves, and we are a full unit of creation unto ourselves, right? A universe inside of us, as they say. And as your spine is nice and long and open, you can start to breathe those breaths that are true to you. So notice your breath first. Don't even try to alter or change it. Just collect awareness to where you are right now and see the pattern that you're in. Because the pattern you're in tells a story, right, about where you've come. And if you don't change the pattern, it's telling the story about where you're going. But right now we keyed into the present moment. And so now we can see all things and all patterns. And now that we're aware of our breath, if we want to shift and make it deeper, we'll change the direction of where we're going or what we're really drawing to us. Because we're always, when we're in our power, at the center, and we bring all of that to us. So please start to breathe diaphragmatically. Send the breath all the way down into the hips. Wash through the whole body, inhalations and exhalations, and feel how the breath is like a nice tidal force, right? When the water moves, it cleans, it's self-sustaining, right? Organizes intelligence and health and vitality. And there's a connection and a cohesion to feeling really, really good, right? When you're in the harmony of things. Because harmony is goodness, right? Everybody is in a win-win place. And so all you're doing is harmonizing your own systems, all the parts of you back together, and you're putting yourself in a win-win solution, right, with yourself, where you become the solution. Now, as you take a few more of these breaths, notice how their space expands. Every breath kind of builds to the next, just like one step leads to the next. And after a series of steps, you've traveled quite far, but you must focus on the step you're at. Very, very powerful, whatever the next right thing is. So if you want an easy twist, let's just please spiral off to one of the sides. If you're seated, hand walk across opposite knee, keep the spine tall. If you're on your back, bend your knees, roll them off to the side. And if you're in child's pose, you can either hand walk your hands to corner of mat shared for a C curve, or you could do a full spiral and thread the needle, one arm across the heart, reaching through other side rib window. Now notice how as the body metrics change, you change the architecture of the body, you can direct the breath through and it will interface with different spaces. All right, that's the reason why if we take a stretch, we can kind of work certain bridges of the body and direct the energy nicely. So same thing with the breath. When your body's in a different shape, that deep breath can help access different nodal points. So let's take one more inhale, just draw in. When you're ready, exhale, glide off, and we'll slide other side. Other hand reaches across the opposite knee for seated twist. Or if you're in the other shapes, just balance them out, taking yourself into the mirror half image. So you're living in that complementary fashion, right? Where the two spaces balance out so well, they naturally merge into one. And that's the unification that we're all seeking, which is really just us, right at our core. And of course, that ancient quote, "What you're seeking is seeking you," applies to all things, right? So let's take one more inhale, easy breath in, and then exhale, come on back to middle. As you come into middle, take a moment, steadfast in the centered state. Then let's take one more space and set an intention for your yoga practice. Mental, emotional, physical, or spiritual. Whatever your life entails, we're all on our own unique journeys, and you are the narrator of your own story, the hero of your own journey. So as you take a moment to establish that conscious intention, you're keying yourself in, and it helps direct the mental energies more effectively and altruistically, and it also helps set up the body behaviors and patterns and rhythms and direction of the body energy on the same vector as the mind, so that everything's in alignment, and that's when you really have your power. So you're living in a spiritually guided, right, self-liberated path. And when you are ready, we'll take an easy inhale, intention set, breath deep, and body ready, and we're ready to flow it into our tabletop. So let's just shift right through, moving into different body shapes now. We'll come right into a tabletop 4 on the floor. Spread those fingers nice and wide, shoulders float over wrists. Push the palms into the ground and feel your arms wake up an extra layer of strength as we do the conscious overlays of these yoga asanas. So we'll take a few cow-cat tilts, sternum draws to earth, shoulder blades squeeze behind, inhale, and then shoulder blades part top of back to sky, exhale. And we'll go back and forth, inhale to exhale, cow to cat tilt. Should feel good to start to wake your spine up. And remember, a lot of these movements, if they're simple or they may seem a little bit more involved, they're very different than mundane societal flow. So cultivate a little bit of appreciation and gratitude for taking your body and yourself through these extra dimensions that are nourishing and refreshing and reconnecting and energizing, right, that you wouldn't normally get if you were just going on the quote-unquote normal program of whatever societal flow is, right? And you got to kind of break the mold and step out of the box to really activate your uniqueness and your greatness. And of course, the health imprint and the vitality imprint show us a lot. So if you want to experience what everyone else is experiencing, just keep doing what they're doing. If you want to experience something different, you got to change it up. All right, perfect. Let's level out of this last one. Easy side balance tabletop. We're going to go and balance on the left side body, stretch your right leg out behind you, and float the right arm open. So find early balance, and you're keying into extra spaces. And you're using your nervous system in different ways. And again, this is all neurogenesis. It grows you in new and powerful ways. Now please take your right arm, reach it forward. As you lift your right leg a little higher, find a horizon. So you're on the side balance. And just take one inhale here. And then we're going to bend the right leg back on the exhale and grab it with right hand. And there's a connection. Right. So kick through that right hand, let the right hip and shoulder open, And as you're breathing deeply, still maintaining connection with all these moving parts of yourself so they stay in harmony and rhythm like an orchestra, also maintain connection of your base. Push through your left arm as you kick through your right foot. Big inhale. And then when you're ready, release, exhale, tabletop. Smooth and control. Feel how you glide through your body with control, and that's how you glide through energy in your life. So let's float left leg open, balance on your right side body and left arm to sky. Notice that you're extending out from your center core navel, right? Like all raised like out of a starfish, right from the navel, the limbs extend out. Find your left hand upstairs and then reach it all the way forward. Keep the left ribs rolled open to sky so you're staying on the side plane nicely. And we'll take another inhale here. And when you're ready, bend the left leg back towards your glutes. Grab it with your left hand, side bow. Firm the hand-foot connection. Lightly kick through the left foot as you press through your grounded base right hand. So you feel a foundation anchor through right arm strong. And then you feel the bow stretch activate to just an extra level as you kick through left hand. Take a big inhale into your body. And then with control, release, exhale, feel yourself glide through as you ground down, floor on the floor. Tuck the toes, we'll float the hips up and back, downward facing dog. All right, now set up the foundation. So walk your hands, broaden them to the edge of the yoga mat so you broaden your base. And then spread those fingers wide like rays of the sun. Push the hands into the earth, making contact, feeling the foundation. And keep lifting your hips up and back. Now, if the legs are really tight, you can have a bend in the knees. But if you can straighten them out and you want to play with that, that's totally cool. Down dog is more about spinal opening than it is about hamstrings and back, knees, and calves. The legs are like secondary. And of course, the legs are an extremity. Your spine is the primary, right? It's the core. So as we build ourselves, all of our intelligence comes from our core. And all of our techniques reflect that wisdom. So let the head and neck relax so that you're working the cervical bridge so you can release it out. And a lot of the neck muscles, when you relax them, they actually are keyed into the mental patterns, right? So if our mind has dramas or it's tense, the body is going to be constricted because it's the same energy. So here we are in the yogic process, becoming the observance and the consciousness that watches the energy. And when you step back from the energy, you can change its charge. You can release tension. You can breathe new purification flows through yourself. And this is ancient technology that's natural and organic. It's what we've always been and who we always are. And we're just learning how to utilize ourselves from a deeper seat of power. Right? That's why self-knowledge, right, is a very powerful pathway to freedom and joyful creation. So let's take a little inhale. Let's roll it out, high plank. Feel the body draw and feel the whole sequence of the core change. Navel pulls in, hands push through earth, shoulder blades broaden across upper back. We'll take an inhale up high and then from either knees or toes, lower on the exhale. Good, soften on down. Release the feet behind you. Hands are under shoulders. Let's press it into a little cobra. So scoop the chest, roll the shoulders back, take a nice inhale, gazing up the sky. And let's take a couple of them. Exhale, just soften down through the middle. And we'll just take a couple pulses. So 2 more. Inhale, breathe up, cobra, neutral middle. And then exhale, float it on low. And on this last one, just come up for a nice inhale. We'll hold for a couple breaths, nice and smooth, cobra lifts. You can either keep it breathing steady up the middle. If you want to take an inhale and then use an exhale to gaze off to left side, just peer off to left heel, find a cobra twist. And then inhale back to middle if you're enjoying the twist, and we'll exhale, peel off to the right side, looking back at right heel. Inhale, breathe it back to middle wherever you are, and then exhale, soften low, and we'll tuck the toes and press it back, downward facing dog. Awesome. Push the hips back, high to sky, and then we'll inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, and exhale, travel feet, top of mat. Come right into a forward fold, hinge right over those hips. Now, if you're really tight on the backside legs, heel toe your feet towards the edge of the yoga mat and broaden your base. If you're pretty flexible through the backside, you can just keep feet neutral, knees bend, and just hinge over those hips. Now notice how gravity is like an invisible river, always waterfalling downward. And see if your spine is yielding with that, and you're not resisting that natural flow, right? Because you can release parasympathetically with gravity very powerfully. And that's a soothing shift
because a lot of our biology and our psychology enjoys the parasympathetic energetics. So again, consciously command your body to help shift the energy. Let the neck relax, soften the gaze, let the facial muscles be easy. Maybe clasp opposite elbows, form a box around your head, maybe sway a little. And see if you can feel the 3 parts of your spine releasing, right? Lower back, middle back, and then the neck. Beautiful. And we're kind of taking out the knots, right? Just like if you're going to style your hair, you got to kind of take out the knots and detangle it before you can style it. So of course our body and our mind share the same energy, and this is the yogic process of clearing out the psychic debris so that we can then reform ourselves to a higher state. So awesome. Let's come into our first halfway flat back. Hands to shins. Heart extends out parallel, so spine is like a nice shelf extending out horizontally. Press the palms into the shins, draw the arms straight, and roll the shoulders back so you have extra awareness through the layers. And as the tailbone's sailing back, can you feel the rest of your spine extending forward, like you're drawing a sword out of the sheath, right, that it's encased in, and you're just showing that length to yourself. And that's an energy bridge. Healthy spine, right, healthy life. So let's take one more inhale, and we'll bow low on the exhale, forward release. Reverse swan dive. We're going to rise all the way up, big lift to sky, and as you float, hands elevate all the way north. To your right, T-twist, exhale, spiral out, look down those right fingertips, gliding the arms open. Now inhale, breathe it back up sky high. We're going to fly it off to left side, exhale, breathe it through. Awesome, center back up on the inhale, and we'll lean it back, and then exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Halfway flat back, lengthen spine, inhale, and then plant the hands. High plank as you step it back, and exhale, low plank. Cobra, up dog, breathe into the back bend that your spine's feeling. And then tuck those toes, hips back, downward facing dog as you start to make these cycles around your own inner round table, right? Moving your body through these spirals of creation, emulating the dance of nature, moving your body in organic rhythms. And of course, here in the sun salutations, we're going to move our body and our breath in union. So 1 breath per 1 body movement. When you're ready, let's start the sun salutations. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, exhale, travel top of mat. Halfway flat back, inhale, bow low, exhale. Reverse swan dive, roll it to sky, big breath fills you up high. Exhale, T-twist to your right, spiral out. Center back high, inhale, and then spiral left, exhale. Fly it back, high upward salute, lean back, inhale, and then exhale, swan dive, glide the body low. Halfway flat back, spine loves the middle length. Exhale, plant the hands. Step it back and empty the lungs as you pass through low. Cobra up dog, fill the lungs as you rise. And then tuck the toes, hips back, downward facing dog. Awesome, 2 more to go. So let's inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, exhale, travel top of mat. Halfway flat back, inhale, spine wakes up. Exhale, bow low, let the energy flow. Reverse swan dive, feel that rising, driving strength up high. Inhale, to your right, exhale, T-twist through. Center back, big lift up, and then exhale off, left side smooth. Inhale, fly it back to center and lean back. Exhale, cascade the body low. Halfway flat back, sweet middle inhale. Plant the hands, hop or step it back. High plank, another vinyasa, low plank, exhale. Cobra, feel that lifting rise. Inhale, scoop in chest. Tuck the toes, exhale, hips back. 1 more, trip around the sun. Inhale, lift the heels. Bend the knees, exhale, travel top of mat. Halfway flat back to lengthen. Exhale, bow low, soften. Reverse swan dive, elevate, big sweep, high inhale. To your right, exhale, T-twist, spiral it out. Fly it back to center, inhale. Glide it left side, exhale. Center back high, reach up and lean back, and then cascade, exhale, swan dive, flow it low. Halfway flat back, lungs take the air in. Plant the hands, hopper step with control, let the air out. Cobra up dog, breathe into the hips, inhale. Tuck the toes, hips back, downward facing dog, exhale. Beautiful. And feel the life force, feel the connection, and feel the invigoration. Consciously track yourself through the process. Right, again, going through the motions, we'll put minimal energy overlay in. And the only stuff that we go through the motions with are automated programs that really either aren't that important
or the stuff that, we're just trying to overwrite, but we're not aware that we're doing it. So we just keep reinforcing the stuff and creating the stuff that we don't need. So notice how this is all conscious overlay, and it puts you into the state. And notice how when you're the most connected, you're in a state of joy and you're captivated and you're in a flow state. And it's quite the opposite of going through the motions. So you're putting yourself in evolutionary states of presence and being. And you got to kind of reach for your greatness. It doesn't just activate. You got to put yourself into these spaces to set the inner trends. So let's take our right leg to sky, nice big breath up. And then step right leg through top of mat, exhale. Float it right into a high crescent. Torso lifts, arms elevate to sky. Find your balance as we lunge into that right leg. Pull the left hip forward so you're squaring your hips forward to the front of the mat. Let the arms sail up nice and high. And let's take those fingers and lace them. Nice inhale. Press the palms up. Easy breath. And then exhale, bring the hands behind the head, fingers laced. And then press the back of the head into the palms. And then open the elbows out sideways so that you get a nice space and you're leaning back a bit, just opening some more architecture. Now invite another big breath, inhale here. On the exhale, come back forward, let the prayer hands float over head to heart. And then let's lean forward with the torso's arms pierced behind like we're in a speed skater position. All right, now keep lunging forward into the right leg. You can press through your back left toes and shift the left heel skyward to deepen into the lunge. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and feel those fingertips reaching back as you extend the crown of the head forward, consciously aware of your lines. Let's take one more inhale here. Now we're going to adjust the left arm, soften to earth, exhale, as you open right arm to sky. Just take a nice little beautiful formation shift into a dragonfly twist. And you're rolling your belly button over the right thigh. And you're reaching your right arm high. And notice that you can push your left hand down to reach your right arm up. It's called reciprocity. So you got to have universal awareness of yourself to move all the spaces so that they can share a co-creative energy expression. Let's take a nice inhale. If you got it, use your right hand, reach it forward all the way to front of mat. On the exhale, like you're reaching away from your back left heel, and we'll add an extra dimension here. Roll the right ribs open. And on the next inhale, right hand back to sky. And then right hand to earth, exhale. Big step forward, left foot next to right foot, top of mat, let the spine soften. And then reverse swan dive, elevate all the way to sky. Beautiful. As we inhale up, hands can come to heart center prayer, nice and smooth. Shoulders relaxed. We're going to come into a fierce pose. So if you want to heel toe the feet together, you can shorten your base. If you're comfortable with just feet neutral, keep them under the hips. On the next space, let's squat the hips down, open the arms up, find your fierce. Nice air chair squat. Now key into the intelligence. Feel the navel pull in and the heart lift up. Feel the shoulder blades squeeze down and back together. And as the shoulder blades go down and back to the spine, feel how your fingertips are reaching up and away from the spine. So again, you got that reciprocity, right? Now as the hips sit down and back into the heels, lift the arms a little higher. Take one more inhale. And then forward fold, exhale. Awesome. Halfway flat back inhale. Plant the hands, step it back, high to low. Another vinyasa flow. As you lower through, scoop the chest, cobra up dog, inhale. Tuck the toes, hips back, downward facing dog, exhale. When you're ready, left leg to sky. Give it a big breath, inhale, reach it up. Step left leg through, top of mat on the exhale. Find your base, rise, press through the feet, down to ground, torso lifts up to sky. As you reach those arms high, settle into your high crescent on this side. Balancing on the back right toes, lunging into the left leg, and just checking out the hips, making sure they're squared into alignment, squared forward. Now feel where your hands are, reach them high on an inhale. Lace the fingers as you roll palms up, and then exhale, hands come behind the head with finger lace. Flare the elbows sideways as you press your back of your head into your hands. And you lean back a bit, adding a nice little arc into the spine. Again, creating space for new energy to come in. Right? You gotta be the action that makes the change happen. So notice how you're coming into these poses and it's creating a draw and a send of energy. that if you're just sitting sedentarily or you weren't guiding your mind differently, you would just be in the same stagnant space. So you're creating motion and the universe is responding. So when you're ready, nice inhale. Exhale, prayer hands float overhead to heart in front of you, and then lean the torso forward. Point the arms behind, speed skater, and feel how you change the architecture again. And so now you're supporting yourself in a different alignment with gravity. So we have our inner awareness, and then there's the outside environment awareness, and we're becoming a master of our internal spaces, which is the primary and most important. And then we can balance that inner space with the outer forces. So we're really becoming masters, right, of awareness and consciousness. And of course, that's how we steer our body and our mind masterfully. So take an inhale, adjust your right hand to earth on the exhale as left arm reaches the sky. Feel that formation shift coming into a nice low lunging spiral dragonfly twist. Now lunge into the left leg a bit more, and then roll navel over left thigh. And feel your foundation. Push your right hand into the earth, and then reach the left arm sky high. And if you want to take your left arm and point it forward, add that extra dimension if you like that modification, and roll your left ribs open as you're reaching away from your back heel. Big inhale, left arm to sky. Exhale, left hand to earth, and then a big step forward, right foot next to left foot. As you forward fold, soften the body low, and then reverse swan dive, clear the spine, rising high. Let the arms circle high, and then hands prayer exhale. Set up for fierce pose. You can bring feet together. Nice inhale, we'll squat the hips, belly button pulls in, heart lifts. Sit the weight back through the heels, and feel the arms extending up and out like the letter V, like you're stretching two lines right out of the tailbone. Now notice how you keep the spine in your awareness is lifted, main circuit of energy, and then all the muscles that wrap it up, and then the extremities expressed too. So one more inhale and fierce, forward fold, exhale, wash it out. Halfway flat back inhale, plant the hands, we'll hop or step it back. High to low, vinyasa, exhale, cobra up dog, inhale, and then either down dog or child's pose, exhale. As you come on back, feel the spaciousness, again, expanding and flowing. All right, and that's exactly what we want to do. I mean, you can look at water. It's pretty neat. It goes through different states, right, of matter and energy expression. Right, condenses ice, right, melts water, turns to vapor and gas. Right, very neat. So again, notice, how we describe our space. Some people are really good at describing how they feel, right, and where they're at. And what they're really doing is they're narrating their energetic and their conscious experience of self. So we know that, blood is a physical medium that flows through, and we don't want our blood to be too thick, right? It has to have the right viscosity. But then there's other energetics other than physical matter that are important, right? The mystics and the ancients and the yogis and monks knew about life force. I mean, artists know about creativity and those streams of energy that come in. And when we feel joy, we feel enlightened, we feel light. So there's the life force energies. And a lot of people are good at describing how they feel. They say they feel heavy, they feel sluggish, right? And these are not just physical layers, right? Because all matter is governed by energy. So notice how you're shifting your experience and see if you can really tune in to how you're shifting the energetics behind the matter. Now you're taking your understanding of reality to the next level, and you're self-educating off of your own intuition and wisdom. And it's the perfect blend of common sense and uncommon sense, right? Because all life is flowing around us, and there's a universal intelligence, and we can just either dance with it or we can kind of arm wrestle with it. And it's much better to be in a co-creative flow for win-win than to be in a combative, dominion quest, right? So the power struggles burn us out, and the union of harmonized vibration, right? Love, vibrational harmonization, that always lifts us up and expands us. All right, beautiful. Let's come all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Let's take our left foot, bring it on the back of the right heel, And just stretch out the calf for a second and see if you can really press through your hands and lift the hips high. So take a little down dog split with the added calf stretch. And then beautiful. Come on back nice and smooth, down dog. Roll it out to high plank. Core is nice and strong. Let's find a side plank. Open right arm to sky. Lift the hips up and away. Feel some core intelligence waking it. Now if you want to take a couple of windmill breaths, circle that right arm low. Exhaling down, inhale it up. Maybe another one, exhale. And then maybe change the pattern. So exhale, reverse the spiral, inhale back up. And another one, exhale through low. Inhale, big reach high. And then return back high plank on the exhale, down dog. Push those hips back. Beautiful. As the hips fly high, right leg to sky, nice big breath. And then exhale, step right leg through top of mat. Spin the back left foot flat, warrior number 2. Inhale, raise the torso up, arms extend out all the way. Back foot spun parallel, back edge yoga mat, right toes forward. And lunge into your power to your own degree. As you lunge into the right leg, lift the heart up, keep the spinal space supreme. All right, easy extended side angle, right forearm to thigh, left arm to sky. Push through your left foot, outer blade, ground the whole back left foot down, and then reach the left arm up and away at that angle, drawing a beautiful line through the left side body, which again is letting the energy flow. Now on the next inhale, pull it all the way up, warrior 2. Straighten forward right leg on the inhale. Sail forward, slide down, triangle pose. Right hand to right shin. Hip shift back as the heart extends forward over right leg. Now again, notice where you're feeling the space. Keeping the right leg nice and straight is very paramount. So again, the depth only comes after you have, the good form. So keeping the right leg nice and straight, the hip shifted back. The depth will progress with the right hand lower and lower, but that's not the primary focus. The primary focus is to feel the intelligence of the poses and to make the alignments, and then to breathe a conscious breath continuously through the alignments. Awesome. So we'll take one more inhale, bending into right knee, rise up on the exhale. Turn your right palm to sky, peaceful warrior. Inhale, lean it up and back. Left hand can rest gently on the left thigh. And let those right ribs open now. We got that nice curvilinear spine opening out. A nice pattern in dynamics. And remember, you're sequencing your nervous system, right? The neuronal transmissions, the electrical connectivity, so important, right? Because we want harmonized energy to flow through. We want silken energy. And when you move your body with healthy posture and you move it mindfully with grace, you're creating a silken wave of energy and consciousness that flows through you. It's a very enjoyable experience. Let's take one more inhale, breathe it in. On the exhale, cartwheel the hands to earth. Now either slide the right foot back or walk your 10 fingers forward. We're coming into tripod. Left leg floats in the air. Beautiful. All right, so let's bend that left leg back. See if you can grab it with either hand. Take a timber pose. And if you got room, bow the torso a little lower, chest towards right leg. Maybe practice pointing the left knee a little higher, knee to sky. Just work your edges. All right, beautiful. Release back to tripod. Both hands to ground, left leg extends behind. Now, can you curl your left knee into your tummy and then hug it with your left hand? And stay on the right leg and balance up to standing nice and smooth. So you're up to vertical now, holding that left knee. And if you want, if you have extra space, take your left peace fingers and grab your left big toe. And this could be plenty. But if you want to kick out that left leg straight, open out more space. Some people like to keep the left leg straight. Some people like to open left leg off the side, in which case you can always counterbalance with your right arm off to the right side. So play with your own body. Beautiful. Take one more inhale. Gently bring that left leg forward and then release it down as hands come to prayer, feet meet the earth. Circle arms back to sky on the inhale. Swan dive, forward fold, exhale. Halfway flat back, check the middle spine, inhale. Plant the hands, step it back to vinyasa, high plank, exhale, low plank. Cobra up dog, inhale. And then tuck the toes, hips back, downward facing dog, exhale. Good. Drive that breath deep, send it past the belly button. Keep the force of life flowing through you because you are the conductor of life force at all times. In order to conduct high quality life force, you gotta be able to steer your mind consciously and steer your body consciously. All right, so let's take our right foot on the back of the left heel, calf stretch. Still holding down dog. As the right foot presses on the back of the left heel, can you press your hips high by pushing your hands through the earth? Notice how you lift the hips by pressing hands into earth. It's that reciprocity again. So you got to be aware of multiple spaces simultaneously, which means you're the unified consciousness between all the different points. All right, beautiful. Let's come back to down dog. Both feet to ground, roll it out, high plank. So we're gonna go to side plank. Balance on your right side body, float left arm to sky. Lift the hips up and away, left arm elevates. Breath still flowing, still breathing. If you want a few windmill breaths, take an inhale. Left hand can release all the way through low, exhale, and circle back up, inhale. And another one of those, exhale, circles in front of body, inhale, reaches the sky. And then reverse the pattern. So exhale, arm changes direction, inhale, back to sky. And one more, exhale, circle through. Inhale, final reach the sky. Exhale, high plank, press hips back, downward facing dog. As you come back to down dog, left leg inhales to sky. Exhale, step left leg through. Back right foot spins flat. Warrior number 2. Right arm behind, left arm in front. Now point those left toes forward as the back right foot spins flat, back foot parallel to back edge yoga mat. Lunge into the left leg and pull the right hip back, squaring your body off to right side yoga mat. And as that breath flows through, notice the heart stays lifted. And we'll turn this into extended side angle. Left forearm to thigh, right arm to sky. Keep reaching that right arm all the way forward. And make sure the back right foot's really rooted. Right? The foundation is so important. And it's a pretty common sense thing, right? We kind of intuitively know foundation has to be sound for anything else to really grow. That's why we do good soil before we plant the seeds. That's why we make sure that the foundation of every building's established well. And that's why we make sure that our moral compass is switched on as we navigate life. So let's pull it back up to warrior 2 on the inhale. Straighten that forward left leg and then triangle pose. Sail forward and slide down, Trikonasana. Left hand to shin, press the hips back. Left hip bone presses back towards right heel. And then the heart reaches forward over the left leg. Feel all that length in the spine. Again, you're creating space for yourself. And what you do with your body is a reflection of where your mind's at. Roll that right shoulder blade open a bit more. And now that you've made the alignments and the lines, breathe your conscious breath through. And notice the conscious breathing technique is everything. We're always in a shape, no matter what we're doing in our day. And we can really invigorate ourselves by just retuning to our posture and breathing our sentience through an alivened body. All right, we're going to take one more inhale. We're going to bend in the left knee. Pull it up, warrior 2, exhale. Left palm to sky, peaceful warrior. Inhale, lean up and back. And sit right into that left leg and let the ribs open as the right hand rests very gently on the back thigh. Lift up through the ribs, lift up through the shoulder, the arms, and ride that gradient curve. Notice how there's never any force. The more technique and skill you get, the more energy you can run, and the less force is required. So again, it's that effortless state that we're always deepening into attainment of. And that, of course, is a flow state of self-joy and mastery. And we get to really be efficient and smooth as we navigate the waves of society, the waves of life. So let's take one more inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to earth. And either slide the left foot back or
walk 10 fingers out in front of left foot, tripod, right leg floats in there. Beautiful. Take a few breaths right here. And if you want to bend that right leg back behind you and find it with your left hand, take that timber pose and give yourself just a little bit of new terrain to adapt into. Right, every space that we come into is an opportunity for adaptational intelligence to evolve. Right, we say life doesn't get easier, we just get stronger, and that's a relative truth for sure. So it's nice to grow yourself. And we're always bigger than the emotion and bigger than the thought and bigger than the experience, right? Our supreme identity is the space that everything else flows through. All right, come on back, tripod. And as right leg extends back, curl your right knee into your tummy and grab it with your right hand. Now drive through the left foot as you roll through the spine upward, finding balance, single leg. And then nice and steady, you can either maintain here, if you want to take your 2 peace fingers of your right hand, reach to your right big toe, which could give you a different level of space. And you can maintain this, or if you want to kick that right leg out straight, you're going to add extra space into the body with the balance, still breathing and chest lifted. And if you want to open right leg off to the right and left arm off to the left, yet another formation shift, and just follow your inner guidance. All right, play, have fun, wisdom and curiosity blended together. Common and uncommon senses. Same deep breaths, always mindful, always universally aware. Taking another inhale, gently bring it back to middle, exhale, and then feet come to ground as hands come to prayer. Circle arms to sky, big breath up, inhale. Swan dive, exhale, wash it low. Halfway flat back, inhale. Plant the hands, we'll step it back, high plank. Maybe 5 yogi style push-ups if you like the cross train. You can synchronize breath. Inhales to exhales. Inhales you lower. Exhale to press up. Find those from knees or toes. And then come up to that high plank inhale. And then lower on the exhale. Cobra up dog inhale. Hips back, downward facing dog exhale. Right leg to sky inhale. Pigeon pose, exhale, right foot wraps under left knee. Straight through the back left toes. Work the hips low. And melt yourself all the way on down forward. And just take reclining pigeon. And let the intelligence of the shape that you're making help the energy flow. Remember Eastern medicine classified disease as blocked energy, right? Or energy not flowing in an organic sequence. So it's somehow stagnant, somehow in a static loop, or it's just fully bound and not being allowed to move, very constricted. So notice just the essence and the elements of everything we've done here have created a flow, a connection, a cohesion, right? A grace, an elemental enlightenment, a spaciousness, and a connection, right? The connection of many spaces rediscovering themselves, right, in a unified manner. So there's no isolation. It's a divine integration of you back into your greatness. And you can feel the quality of the experience. You can feel the expansiveness. There's breathing space. There's head space. There's body space. So who is the space maker, right? Because space can be shifted, just like time can be shifted. You can change perception of time and the quality of passing through it or it passing through you. And so the space maker is you as the timeless, as the shapeless, and as the formless. Right, in the eternal now moment, which is the only moment there ever is, right? Past, present, and future all happen in the eternal now, because your past memories happened when it was now. When your future memories happen, it'll be now. And right now, it is the now. It's always now. So you as the space maker are in command of the now. And it's your seat of enlightenment.
And it's the greatest gift you can give to yourself, the greatest gift you can give everyone else. Like Lao Tzu said, the greatest gift you can give another is the gift of your own self-transformation. All right, beautiful. We're going to come into the other side when you're ready. Hands under shoulders. Tuck the toes. Lift the back knee. Slide up and out. Just come back to down dog when you're ready. Left leg, breathe it up. Sky high inhale. Wrap left leg under and through exhale. Right knee softens the ground. Walk the right leg back with that little toe foot walk till hips melt down. Point the right toes straight behind you and then melt out the torso. Forward reclining pigeon. And as long as your energy's flowing and it has that cohesion and organics going on, and you literally are propagating yourself as the fountain of youth, you're tuning into the majesty of the universal intelligence, and you're aligning your body back with its spiritual power source, and you're also aligning your mind back with the spiritual power source. Right? The eternal spirit is just that, it's eternal. And when you connect into the cognition and the sentience and the intelligence of these higher dimensions, of your divine dimensions within you, then all of a sudden the body's bestowed with the greater realities and the potentialities, right? Like spontaneous remission and other quote-unquote miracles that we've observed that kind of break the laws of physics and common perception of how reality works and what's possible. So we expand our potential and our reality, and we activate possibilities into probabilities. All right. And things that seemed impossible all of a sudden hop into the scope of relative ease as we start to understand the process of being a conscious co-creator and the depth of the truth of reality and who we are and what's really possible. And of course, rising above your own inner shadow is a major part of this process as you liberate yourself from your own deception and your own illusions, which is such a great path of being your own hero and walking the journey. So notice how it's paramount to give yourself space, and remember, you are the space maker, right? You're the supreme space maker, and you're the one who witnesses all the different dimensions, whether it's the physical identity, the mental identity, right? These are all dimensions. The emotional space, you're the one watching, and that's the dimensionless dimension. It's the supreme space of vast, unlimited potential that has no boundaries. And so from this space, your seat of enlightenment, you are the space maker, and you can bring space into any domain of yourself and be the divine agent of change to help rebirth yourself anew and bring everything back into its organic divine blueprint of eternal first creation. So when you're ready to come out of this side, hands under shoulders, we'll raise up torso. Circle legs long out in front so you come to seated and just roll it all the way to your back. We'll come classic knee hug. As the spine rolls onto the ground, you find easy knee hug. Maybe take a few settling, gentle circles or rock or shift around just to get acclimated and feel that energy shift and feel your matter catch up with the energy. And if you want to float the legs high and go into a little inversion, candlestick, maybe just reach your arms up too, let the lymphatic drainage system get a cool space. You can do this. If you want to bend the knees and grab feet, happy baby pose, always classic as well. Some people like to go shoulder stand or plow pose. Float the legs really high, hands to hip bones, balancing on shoulders and triceps. Or bend it into plow pose. Let the hips hinge and the legs drop over the head till feet touch ground. Kind of like an upside down Paschimottanasana. Beautiful. Gently unwind on back, smooth the middle. As you come back to knee hug, if you want to take a couple of twists, you can always just open the arms out to your sides. Bent knees roll off to one way. Maybe breathe and hold for a few breaths, just softening in. Letting the pose have a little bit of time to take the course and feel the passage of the breath. Of course, balance out the body. Inhale. Change to the other side. Exhale. Let your body rest in stillness. As we wind it back in, final approach, we're coming into Shavasana. You can feel the energy calling in to the final shape of core stillness. When you're ready, inhale back to middle. Take one final knee hug squeeze, head towards knees, little ball on an inhale. Then in your own time, easily exhale. Release out arms and legs. Shavasana.